All right, man. It's Step Your Game Up TV. Man, we here with the one and only Christon Gill.
What's up?
What I mean? We're gonna get into the programs, everything you're doing, but let's just, your story. You know what I mean? Coming up, Central. When you start playing football? Let's stop there.
I started playing football when I was 7 years old. Yep. Here at Bridgeport.
Okay.
Bridgeport Raiders.
So you're on the Bridgeport Raiders.
Yep.
Started playing for Central.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, just to go a little bit back. When did you start noticing you were special as far as really talented?
Like I said, my older brother was somebody who played football first in the family, so
okay.
I just always looked up to him, and just when I played when I was mainly it was when I was, I want to say, junior peewee.
Okay.
I was playing offensive lineman, and then once I finally got the opportunity to go to a skill position.
Okay.
My first position was quarterback.
Okay.
When I got to a skill position. So once I went there, and I kind of begged the coaches, I want to play a skill position. I was one of the biggest, fastest on the team. So, I want to, showcase my talent.
Exactly.
And I finally got that opportunity, and when I got the opportunity, the rest was history.
Okay. So now let's say, we play in the leagues. I mean, we playing Pop Warner, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Pop Warner. So
yeah.
We're playing Pop Warner. You know what I mean? Now we're going into high school. So now we're here, the field we're at right now, Central.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this part of where all the magic happened. So you know what I mean? So now at Central, how do you develop as a elite player? Like, you know what I mean? How do you come up your positions?
Yeah, I just mainly stay focused, man.
Okay.
Mainly one of the things that I've done that separated me from the good from greats.
Okay.
Was me training. Every day, I found a way to get better than the next man.
Okay.
While everybody was sitting on the couch, I was out there working for mine, trying to be the best person I could be.
Okay. And as far as one thing, man, that a lot of kids get caught up in a lot of the street stuff and stuff that's going on around them. How are you able to avoid those traps of the streets and just stay focused on football? Like, you know what I mean? How hard was that? How easy? Just kind of give us a little bit of that.
Yeah, it was hard, but I maintained and stayed focused. Having a mom like mine, who kept me out the streets and kept me busy. Just going to every event. Just to work on my game and just be the best player I could be.
Okay.
So my mom definitely gave me that outlet of just staying busy.
Okay. Any father figure?
No father figure. Like I said, only father figure was my brother.
Okay.
He was that guy for me. We traveled the world. Just trying to showcase, my talent and hopefully, I was getting some scholarships at that time. But when I first got my first scholarship, I took off from there.
Okay. So now, you know what I mean, you get your scholarship. You're at Western Carolina.
Yep.
University. So when you go there, now what's that like? What's that transition from high school to college D1?
Yeah, man, it was a big transition. Some of the fact that me playing at Central High School where we exactly are now, and I ended up going to prep school actually before I went Division I.
Okay.
Yep. So I was actually getting ready to go to Penn State before I actually went to Western Carolina. I actually missed my SAT score by 1 point.
Okay.
And I ended up, Penn State defense coordinator at the time.
Okay.
He helped me, find a location where I could go to prep school and get to where I needed to be, so I can make that next step in playing Division I football.
Now, and for the youth watching right now, talking about SAT scores and all that, how, as far as your grades and academically, how much does that play a role as far as getting to this level?
Oh man, that's a big situation there where grades is everything.
Okay.
Athletics will get you but so far.
Okay.
But academics it just separates you from being a Division III player, Division II, or even those guys that go play Division I.
Okay.
That you just on a higher stage. That other guys look up to you. So, everybody wants to play there, but not everybody has that same work ethic to get there.
Exactly. I think a lot of kids miss that because they think, oh, I just got to be a superstar as far as a football player, and sometimes they miss those academics. And I think even when it comes to a lot of sports, a lot of times the difference, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, the difference is that, this kid might be a good street player, but he didn't do what he had to do in school, so he was never able to get over those humps and get to that next level. You know what I mean? So, you being able to do both and being able to excel in both, and just having the discipline and training, which is super important, just shows a lot. Just like for the youth that's watching, it takes it all. It takes the academics, and it takes the physical talent and the mental talent. You know what I mean? So to get to where you got to go. So from there now, you're in college. And your stand-up game was that Alabama game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, what was your stat? Do you remember your stats from that game?
Yeah, actually, I had 15-plus tackles.
Okay.
I had 2 TFLs.
Okay.
I had a forced fumble against the Heisman winner, Derrick Henry at the time.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much I had the best game of my life, and it was, it wasn't just because it was versus Alabama, but just knowing that my whole city and state was watching me.
Exactly.
Every time I made a tackle, I just knew my mom and my friends back home were watching. So, I knew it was, Bridgeport versus everybody.
Exactly. So, So now from there, how do you get to the NFL?
Just pretty much maintaining and staying focused and getting the best you.
Okay.
You got to find that trainer or someone that's going to keep you on the right route, because, every success has its own route, but I felt like I found mine.
Exactly. And from there, from that success, now you're still thinking about your hometown, your city, and you come back and you started the summer camp program. What's the correct name?
Yeah, it's actually it's CG7.
Okay,
which, stands for Christon Gill, and number 7. I wore that number since I was young.
Okay.
I never had a different number. It was just something that stayed with me for the rest of my life. And when I went to play Division I, they called me CG7. So I just kind of stuck with it, and it became a logo and an organization. So.
Okay. Now, how important was it to come back? Because a lot of people sometimes, they make it to these levels, and they can just disappear and never come back to where they're from. Not saying that they have to, but it takes I think it's really special when somebody's like, I'm not gonna forget where I came from. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give something back. I'm gonna do what somebody didn't do for me. You know what I mean? Because you told me before, you had to travel to go to these training camps and things like that.
Yeah.
So to think about these kids, these homegrown kids, and want to help them and want to make something happen here. What was the mind state in that? And when did you start thinking like, okay, I got to do something for the hometown?
Yeah, that was something I always wanted to do, as far as, give back to my community. But what really did it was, just having that support system, my mom and my older brother, and the fans that supported me along the way. And, I know growing up as a young kid, I didn't have a camp to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I always had to travel, past New York, Pennsylvania areas to actually get the exposure that I wanted to. So I wanted to at least, meet the families in Connecticut, halfway. I'll put the camp here in Connecticut,
mm-hmm.
So they don't have to travel too far, and just give them that outlet, that I never had. That's what we say, prepare for the future. So that's something I always wanted to do. Just, if I ain't have a camp, let's put one here.
Okay, and that's what it is. So now, who's some of the people that have come down, man? Because I heard you had some NFL friends that were able to come down and also, help train the kids and talk to the kids, and just some of the names.
Yeah. So I had a few of my guys. I had Ray Rice, who came down. I had Detrez Newsome.
Okay.
I had Tyler Matakavage. Let me see. I can't even think of fully everybody.
Okay, exactly.
I had a lot of professionals, not only for football, but I had boxers that came by, guys who played Division I basketball. Just somebody who that they look up to, that's seen on TV, or not even just seen on TV, but somebody that's in the community that's doing something special.
Exactly. And I think that's so important because, one thing I'll say, you know what I mean, we're going to get into the CG7 Experience, the new program you have that's going on right now. But one thing I've seen from the first day is the respect that you're able to get from these kids. And, you're able to you say something, you don't got to say it 100 times, you know what I mean? You're like, listen,
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We were over 60 kids,
yeah, 60
and a snow day, you know what I mean? And just seeing the command and just how you just have that respect off the rip with all ages, and they are able to, make sure they're all listening,
yeah.
And they're all following direction, they're doing what they gotta do. It's something magical to watch. So I think making it to the levels you've made it, and kids being able to see someone in the flesh that's been to these levels that they could only dream of, I think that's so important to just to be able to make them even say, you know what, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy, you know what I mean? It's someone that's made it there. I need to listen to him. How important do you think that was? Just
yeah, I think it's very important. I'm a product of my community.
Okay.
I lived in the same apartment building, same roads, same lanes.
Yeah.
So me coming from the same city and state, just trying to show them that it's possible. Because when I was young, I really didn't think it was possible.
Exactly.
Because it looked like a long shot, but you get closer to your dream, and the closer you get, the hungrier you get.
Exactly.
And not many people can understand what I'm saying. You got to be in that field to understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So, just being that, guy that's been here, I lived it. So, it's like having a trainer that, when I was training for the, NFL, I wanted somebody that, could run a 4.4 because he understand what I was saying and he understood what I felt.
Yes.
You can't tell me how to run a 4.4 if you ain't never run it before.
Exactly.
So just me being a product here, I can show you the way out because this is where I'm from.
Exactly. And just going back real quick, man, we kind of touched on, why you do this and where the passion comes from.
Yeah.
You told me a personal story behind the scenes about something that affected you, and if you could kind of go into that and go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much the reason why I do what I do, because I'll use a great example. When I was growing up, I would say my freshman year, I had a teammate who, the whole team, we was really close with.
Mm-hmm.
He was battling some situations where, he was on the verge of quitting. And he finally came to that, that moment where he ended up quitting football. And, that Thursday that he quit, the next day, Friday, we have a football game. Mm-hmm. Him quitting the team, obviously he's not on the football team anymore. Yep. He went down, and instead of him being on the football team, him having a game that day, he was on Madison Ave, and he got shot, and now he's paralyzed for the rest of his life. And I use that for example because if he had not quit football, he would still be walking to this day. He wouldn't be paralyzed. And from that day forward, it kind of stuck with me. I kind of kept that to myself because, that was something real personal. And, from there, I just said, what, I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to go hard in football and I'm going to chase my dream. And there's nothing nobody could do.
Exactly, man. And that's just a tragic story, man. And like I said, like what you're doing now, you could be saving countless kids right now. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids, they look up to you. I see the glow in their eye, and it's like a superhero for some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a lot of them, you know what I mean? It's dope to just see this. So we're gonna go right into the CG7 Experience, and just break that down. What's going on right now, and what you're doing for these kids right now.
Yeah, so the CG7 Experience, I think that's one of the most coolest things that's around Bridgeport, Connecticut right now. There's nothing like it, and it won't be. I've trained my whole life, just trying to make it to the next level, and I thought I did a pretty great job of doing that. CG7 is training football. Up north we don't have that stuff where football is going around all year round. So my plan was to some way somehow for the kids that love football, that wants to train all through year round, and I want to be that outlet for those guys instead of them playing basketball, being forced to play basketball. You know what? Let's train. CG7 Experience. Let's train and let's go hard. And it's going from January 18th to March 28th, so it gives you 3 months, to work on your skills. So around that time, for college, I'm pretty much, on the same pace as, colleges. Right now they have winter gym. So right now football teams are training inside the basketball gym, just footwork and reactions and, drills like that to, stay focused, to get ready to get over that hump for the summer. And then once summer crack off, it goes right into the season. So, I just try to be that outlet because, North Carolina, the down souths, they already beat us to that.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to some way, somehow get Connecticut on board and just rebuild that and, put Connecticut back on the map, like where we belong.
Exactly. And, something like this not only helps the kids and, helps them as far as training and getting better and developing, it's also keeping them off that street. And one thing I really noticed that I haven't seen any other program doing is the actual work you do on the board, teaching, understanding plays, teaching, positions, and just, understanding the, the work that goes in as far as, what you have to, not physically what you have to do, but mentally what you have to do on the field. So, just, if anybody wants to, I know right now it's pretty filled up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess if people can inquire, they're going to see the footage and the highlights.
Yeah.
If they want to inquire and want any information, want to, even donate or anything, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. We on Facebook. Our Facebook is CG7 Football Camp.
Okay.
Our Instagram is CG7_football. And we're full, but listen, we would never say no to a kid. So
okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, we always ready to help others.
Exactly, man. And just, anything you want to say, just in closing to the people, man, I just want to say real quick, I just respect what you're doing, man. This is just, man, to see it live, like, you got to see this, like, you got to see what's going on in these gyms and what this man is doing. But to see what you're doing and the respect that these kids have for you, and just the respect that the parents have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just, from the shirts, the hats. My son goes, and my son was just so excited to get a shirt and get a hat and a band. And it's like, there's so much stuff going on. So, but just in closing, just anything you want to say special to the people, anything that people need to know, anybody you need to shout out,
Yeah. Well, like I said, with the CG7, that's huge. It's bigger than me. I want to say it definitely is bigger than me. Simple fact that, we out here trying to save lives. I'll use another example. I'll use a name, for example. You got little Johnny who could hang out with his older cousin who's 17. And he could have, some type of beef with somebody from the other side of town, and his little cousin being with him, he could be involved with that. But him being at CG7 Experience, he could miss that altercation and just, he could miss those bad moments that you don't want to be a part of that could scar him for the rest of his life. So, just being a part of CG7, you got a bunch of kids who, just all together, they're not on the game, they're not outside doing bad things, but they're, coming together as one, training. I was doing that at the age of 17. So imagine a kid doing that from 7 to 17. Imagine where he'll be at. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like I said, it's bigger than me. And again, welcome to the CG7 Experience.